Hey, good evening, everybody. Hey, I'm so happy to be back. Man, it's episode 32. We've been going strong for a long time. And as usual, I say I'm excited, but I am excited because, hey, we back at this thing again. Another week ready for a great conversation, exceptional conversation that's coming up. And I know for a fact that it's going to be like the kids say. Well, they don't think they say it anymore, but I like to say it's dope. I know it's going to be dope because I have some exceptional guests for tonight. I'm looking forward to having a conversation. I'm just doing my usual plug that I do every week to make sure that people can see this video. Comment, make sure you comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Uh, and I'm looking forward to it. So hey, I want people to come in. When you coming in, just jump in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from, because I want to give a shout out where you're tuning in from. Hey, I came a long ways today, traveled over many miles to get to where I am today. So I'm coming to you live today from the metropolis of Demopolis, Alabama. Yesterday I drove 6 states to get here, so I'm glad that I'm here. Spending a little time with my family while I'm here. But overall, man, I'm just so glad that I have the opportunity to do this and let people know that you're here in the building. I'm glad to continue this conversation because I really feel that this conversation is necessary. Not only that it's necessary, but I feel that it is relevant to the things that we need to talk about. And it's a safe space. It's a safe space and a safe place to talk about things that I feel that we don't really talk about a lot, especially in our community. So that's why I wanted to have this and bring this on. But without further ado, I do want to give a shout out to some people that I know. Sabrina Frazier. I want you to look her up, Sabrina Frazier, and I'll be posting her information in the comments later on. But I want y'all to go check her out. She's on Amazon. She's a dope author. She wrote plenty of books. She does love novels and all of those things. She's a member of the church that I attend in Augusta, Georgia. So hey, I'm gonna be posting her information. I wanted to give her a shout out tonight, and make sure you go support her and the things that she's doing. Also, I want to give a shout out to all of the essential workers, to all of the people that has been doing a lot of things to keep everything going. I couldn't thank you enough for everything that you've done. I wanted to personally say out loud that I salute you, I appreciate you. And when I mean essential workers, I'm talking about the people that worked at the grocery store, people that have been working at at the restaurants, people that have been working behind the scenes to keep everything going during this pandemic. I pray that everybody continue to be safe, that everybody continue to be wise with movement with COVID-19, and don't take things for granted. So with all the pleasantries out the way, I want to introduce you guys to our guests tonight, and I'm going to bring them in, and I'm excited about the guests that we have tonight. So again, let me know where you're tuning in from, and I'm going to bring them in, and they'll be in shortly, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and introduce themselves to the people in the black belt, people that's tuning in, they're from all over. So I want to welcome you guys to we got Dr. Naisha Parks and we got Valencia Smith. I want to welcome them to the conversation. So hey, how you doing, Naisha? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I sure can. So I'm Naisha Parks. I'm here in Augusta, Georgia. I think Robert and I have been knowing each other. How long has it been, Robert? What, 15?
It's been about 12 years.
About 12 years. So I'm just here tonight to talk about the healing process. I went through quite a journey myself, where it was really nearly having to go through the process of self-discovery and healing from being broken physically and mentally. Wrote a book about that. But I'm ready for the conversation tonight.
Yes, I sure am too. And I know Valencia's going to come back. We love to have technical difficulties when we have a great show that I feel that God is gonna have us to do. But we're just gonna continue to go on, and when she come back, we'll just bring her back in.
Right.
But I do
Her
want
story is amazing.
See, and here we go. That's what I'm saying. We back in it. We got you back in here, Valencia. So I'm about to bring you in. So, well, we when the time comes, we're gonna get her back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to get comments. Got my mom here. My mom, you know, I listen. There's nothing like having your mom always supporting you. So shout out to my mom, Mama D. Hey, Miss Geraldine, how you doing? Thank you again. She says she tunes in every week to class, so that's why she said, "Hey, teacher."
Okay.
Miss Paige Banks, how you doing? Thank you for your continued support. She tunes in every week as well, and I appreciate you for what you do. We're gonna bring Valencia in. Hey, we waiting on you. We waiting on you.
I don't know what's going on. Hello, everybody. I'm Valencia Smith. I'm from the Black Belt area. I'm a mom of two. I'm also an educator. I just recently started a podcast. It's been about a year. I launched it in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic. It's called the Hello Beautiful Queen podcast, and it's a personal development podcast, and it's in hopes of helping women become their happiest, healthiest version of themselves.
All right, so we got the pleasantries out the way. I do want to say this. So this is, and I told the guests before, this is my way. March is the Women's History Month, and I wanted to feature women doing this show. So throughout the rest of this month, I got some phenomenal women that's going to be coming on and sharing their experiences. And I just wanted to say that I not only have a lot of respect for women, I've worked with them professionally my entire career, and as a man, what I purpose to do is just take the time to listen and to understand the perspective that is different from my perspective, but also be an advocate for women in all that I can do. So I just wanted to put that out there. And we're gonna give a few more shout outs before we get in. We got Tahisha Barefoot. She's tuning in down there. I know she's tuning in from Orlando, Florida. We go way back to, and we was talking about a week ago. We served together in Korea back in 2002, and we worshiped together the same worship service. So, and want to give a shout out to my sister Portia. Hey, Portia, you know we're gonna argue later, but I give you some love while we on here right now. So now we just want to get into it. The conversation that we have in the night is in talking about the process of healing and the the steps and process associated with healing. Now, when we talk about healing, I think a lot of people have different viewpoints on healing, and we can and I do want to point this out from the perspective of wound. We can be wounded in different areas. So I can be wounded physically, and that requires a different level of assistance to heal. I can be wounded emotionally, and that requires a different skill set or assistance to heal. I can be wounded spiritually, and that can require a different assistance to heal. So, and when I was talking about healing, I just want to talk about all of them from the body, the mind, and the spirit perspective, because it is a process. It is a process. So, cut myself today. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be healed. So, and I just want to. So, what do you guys? What do you have to say about that process or the steps when you talk about healing? Just from your perspective, either one can go first.
For me, I think, like you said, it's a process. I think a lot of people think it's an overnight thing that all of a sudden that you will be healed. But for me, honestly, I would say it took roughly about two years for me to get to the point where I felt or I feel healthy, whole, and healed. And all of that for me started with giving everything over and placing it over to God. That's how it happened for me. Because I tried to do it all by myself. I did it my way. I bumped my head against the wall several times, and I figured out my way wasn't working. And so that's where it took that long. and it started with putting God first because I was putting him on the back burner. I wasn't giving him the attention and the time that he demanded, and I put him on the back burner. And let's just say I burned myself in the process.
Go ahead, Naisha. Got anything to add to that?
Yeah, that's I think my perspective is much like Valencia's. I went through a process where there was a natural need for me to heal. I had a traumatic injury when my son was 10 days old. So because my life changed tremendously, there was I had to go through a physical, literally rebirth and also physical rebirth. But the thing that is constant is the emotional piece and the healing piece. So it's interesting that although the reason for our healing may be different, the process seems to be very, very similar to what she's sharing.
Yeah. So I talked about it, a few months ago, and I talked about the importance, or talked about forgiveness.
Right.
I've been on the healing thing for a long time, and listen, I can remember going through a divorce in 2007, 6 and 7, and it took a while. It took about 2.5 years to get to a place where you're talking about, Valencia, to where like I finally got my footing back to a place to where I can even start the process of healing. Because when we start talking about healing, especially when we're dealing with like an emotional wound or anything, there's a period to where the shock of what happens and catches up with the reality of what's going on in your mind. And what I say about that was my heart had to catch up with my mind in my situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a process. It was not an overnight thing. And I think a lot of times, especially I'm speaking from a spiritual standpoint, we have fantasized spirituality or our faith with like a hocus pocus magic wand type thing, without talking about the process. You know what I'm saying? Because that process is steps to it. Like I said, it can go natural and spiritual, but it was some up and down times in my process.
Mm-hmm.
Some good and bad times. Sometimes where I felt like I was making progress, then I looked the next day, felt like I'd have stepped back a few steps.
Yeah.
So, what do y'all have to say about that?
I definitely can relate to that and agree with that. I remember initially when I found out that I had open heart surgery and everything about my life and everything about myself had changed. I went through a period where, there was anger, grief, a number of things. I'd go from that to being, of course, thankful that God allowed me and spared me to live. But it is definitely something that's continuing and ongoing for me as well.
Okay, go ahead, Valencia. You had anything you want to add?
Yes, I would say for me, and I just want to be transparent. I know that when I had troubles, there were some troubles. I would go to God, ask him to relieve me of those troubles. And then I give God a little bit of attention for a little while. And then he's back on the back burner again. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I ended up having 2 steps back was all my fault. That was all on me. Because once again, I wasn't giving him my full attention. And so I would find myself back in the same situation. It was just a cycle over and over and over again. Me doing the same thing, encountering the same situations, and me not comprehending, not learning that you must put God first.
Absolutely.
If you don't put him first, you're going to stay in the same cycle for the rest of your life.
So I'm glad both of y'all hit on something, and I started smiling because I think it's necessary to kind of dive into that a little bit. Is the fact that getting over that. Like, I was angry at God when I went through my trauma, even though I came out in a victorious state, but I was still angry at God.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's a natural process, and I think we're all kind of hitting on that. And I really wanted to address that for a little while too, because when we start talking about healing, there's gonna be a point where we're frustrated.
Absolutely.
And you know, and Valencia, you talk about putting God first, and I'm 100% with you. But a lot of times we don't talk what that looks like.
Right.
When we're dealing with, you know, saying that process, especially going through healing. I hear what you're saying, God. I want you to do this for me, but I really just want this discomfort to be gone for a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm just speaking for myself. It wasn't until I was willing to deal with the hurt is when I started to really start to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted God to remove the uncomfortableness without me being willing to deal with that hurt.
Exactly. And that's why it didn't work. That's why it didn't work. And so I decided, I made a conscious effort for myself after deciding that I didn't want to be on that cycle again, continue with that cycle. I remember saying to myself, I even posted it on Facebook. It's kind of like almost like a little journal on Facebook. And roughly around 2018, I would post like some affirmations and things of that nature. And it really was me talking to myself. And then there was a lot of people actually that would relate, of course, to those posts. But it was me basically having a conversation with myself on social media, affirming myself and reassuring myself and encouraging myself, and not knowing I was encouraging others at the same time. But it was just me deciding to start working inward, reading my devotional every day, getting up first thing in the morning and actually praying first thing in the morning, being grateful for, before the day starts, just being grateful, meditation. Actually, my process is actually, I listen to some inspirational music in the morning time, but it was all about me getting closer to God is what helped me in my healing process. And also becoming, like she said, becoming self-aware, discovering myself all over again, getting to know myself all over again, because initially my pain came from a broken marriage. That's where my pain came from. And honestly, I got married early. I got married young. So I really didn't know who I was. You know, I became a wife. And so for me, that was my title. That was my everything. I didn't know what my skills, my talents, my strengths, my what my interests were at that time, you know. So everything was structured around that, my marriage. And in the process, not only that, I didn't have the tools. I didn't feel like I was equipped with the tools necessary to maintain a solid marriage in the process. So with all that said, that's where my brokenness came from. My healing process came from me putting it all in the hands of God and working within myself, starting there.
And I know that you didn't get there overnight, because you had to get to a point where you're tired of being sick and tired and willing to let go. Naisha, you know, I do, like, I'm going to share a link of your story, because they did a feature on your story. For those that don't know, like, it's an amazing story. You are literally a miracle being here right now. And I just said that, like, even with that experience, you still said you was angry.
Oh yeah.
What was that like? Just talking through it, because what was that like?
Even so I can just remember that, you know, I gave my life to God at a very young age. So, you know, from the age of 12, just remembering that, you know, I got saved at the age of 12. And I remember not that when I realized the magnitude of what had happened to me, I just was so mad with God. I just remember saying, you know, I gave my life to you when I was so young. You know, and there are people who are, you know, have done way worse in life. And, you know, why me? You know, why would you do this to me? You know, and then within a day or so, you know, it was a process where like, oh God, I'm so humbled. I'm so humbled. I'm, you know, I'm so grateful. But for me, it was about, going through that process and bargaining, you know, with myself, trying to bargain with God, trying to bargain with my family, you know, whoever I could. But for the most part, I shuffled through the phases of healing right along with God, and ended up at, you know, acceptance. And acceptance is something that happens every day because we fall so short daily. So, you know, being able to say, okay, God, I messed that up. You know, here I am, but I want to go forward with the intent not to do it again. So, that's, you know, that acceptance with, okay, it's my thing I got to deal with. And, you know, I have to deal with that on a daily basis. So God and I went through that process together, and, brought me here. And anger was a big part of it.
So I like that, because I want to ask you this, because one of the things that I'm sitting here smiling because, like, in my mind, like, a lot of stuff just going crazy right now. But it is amazing the fear you have to overcome to embrace your vulnerabilities to actually heal.
Oh, yeah.
Because when hearing that, that's where the anger come in at, because it's like, why? And and I remember when I went through my divorce and everything, I asked myself all them questions, like, God, I've been serving you. You know,
right.
I got baptized at 6, but I got saved at 20.
Oh yeah.
Let people.
I didn't get right until about 23 or 24.
And but with that, I accepted my calling as a minister. I've been, in September would be 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's like I've accepted it, but I was like, God, I've been serving you since a young man. I've been doing all this, and why this, that, the third? Why you allow this? Why? Now I had just came from being deployed, embedded in an Iraqi infantry battalion, where my life was spared numerous of times while I was deployed, not focusing on that he kept me, I'm alive. I'm mad because of the situation.
Right.
And it was because I didn't want to, as I processed it later on, I was scared to deal with my vulnerabilities. I was afraid to deal with my vulnerabilities so I could heal.
Absolutely.
And we not waste, but we spend a lot of time trying to protect our vulnerabilities instead of embracing it. And I know, you know, what does that feel like? Like having to face those vulnerabilities. I know what it feels like to me, but I just want to know from and I know, Valencia, you talked about your brokenness, but like, what did that feel like to realize that you were actually vulnerable and dealing with it, overcoming that fear of, I don't care, I need to deal with this?
It was painful. It really hurt, because for me, my marriage ending to me equated to failure. It equated to failure. And I felt like it was not everything that I tried to do. I think I tried to bandage and, you know, just fix it in every way that I could, and I couldn't. There was nothing I could do about it. And for me, it was painful. The process of it all coming to an end, it felt like death.
Right.
You know, it felt like death. And I did not want to mourn. I didn't want to go through the mourning process. I just didn't want to go through the grieving process. I didn't want to feel that pain. And so now I feel like I felt like it kept me from trying to, it branched out to everything else that I would try to do. But because I was afraid of failing, whether it was something career-wise or whether it was something, you know, personally, I felt like it prevented me from going forward because I was afraid of feeling the pain, failing, and feeling the pain of failing. And so that's what it did for me.
What about you, Nate? So you have anything you want to say?
I just would say, you know, the same thing for me. I was in a position where, you know, my life went from 1 minute me taking care of everyone else and being the person that everyone went to me being the person that needed the support and needed the help all over, you know, even to do the very basic things. So again, you know, my process of healing, it was almost like, you know, God will break you down sometimes to the lowest common element to show you you. And so, and that honestly is what happened to me. Being fully transparent, you know, God said, you know, you want to serve. You said you want to serve, and you know, I had to allow myself to be served. And in my situation, it was a traumatic event that forced me to see one, how I should appreciate others who had previously served me in the past. So you know, I took so much from my experience, Robert. God has just really blessed me to allow me to go through it and not stay where I was at physically or mentally. So,
And I'm glad you said that, because you know, I can remember going through that, and I kept asking God why, and the Holy Spirit kept answering back, why not?
Absolutely.
and I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that. But you hit something that what my mind went to was, there's no way you would have chose to go through that, what you went through. But it was necessary for you to go through what you went through to get you to where you at right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Iantha, she just said this, and then she hit this. I want to bring this up. She said, allowing yourself to be served. Key word, allowing.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to stay on that. Excuse me, because Nation, I can imagine when you've conditioned yourself to make things happen, and you've been just making it happen, and you going and going and going. God to turn around, like we say that in the country, God was like, sit down somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need you to sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
So that I can bring out what I put in you.
Right.
And I know during that time of going through it, I remember going through what I went through, man. Listen, that thing was, and I talked about it. Oh, that thing was painful. I can relate to what Valencia said. You feel like a complete failure, because especially when you talk about marriage and being married young. I was married at 21, and you go through that stuff and you're trying to figure yourself out, and that's your identity, and now it's gone, and you trying to figure out, man, I'm a failure. This is how people are gonna look at me, or this is what I'm going through. And God, like, I don't care. I just want you,
yeah, absolutely,
into a place so that I can use you to be a blessing to others.
Right. I just, you know, just in reflecting, like you said, one of the things that I took from that experience is, you know, God will sometimes, you know, will allow us to go through things, but, you know, we can miss the message sometimes too. In feeling sorry for ourselves, or in staying in the anger and staying in the pain, you know, and choosing not to focus on that. So a lot of that is important in the process too. Like I said, I was one of those people that, you know, I made things happen for other people, but being in the reverse situation gave me a different type of grace that I didn't have prior to. So I could have fought against that during the process, and, you know, stayed where I was and not grow. But I'm just thankful that God gave me the wherewithal to know, you know, He's much bigger than me. So I need to sit down somewhere, like you said, and sometimes be taught and be served. And I'm thankful for the people who did.
And I would say for me, in my process, that I started making bad decisions, and I was acting completely out of character. Also, it brought me all the way down to my knees till I was in the living room, just literally just crying, just literally asking God to just take this from me, just provide me with the peace that I need so that I can move forward, and just ask him to come into my life. And then after that, it was pretty much just the peace I can't even explain to you right now, that level of peace that I have right now, just by allowing him to just guide me throughout the day. I felt like I had to control absolutely everything. When I realized I could control my marriage, and then other things that happened, I just released control, and I just took my hand off the wheel and just gave it to God, and just let you do your thing, God. Just do your thing. I'm here, and use me in the way that you designed me to be used, And so that level of peace, I would not. I'm very protective. Let's just say that I'm very protective of my peace right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I just have the opportunity to build a relationship with God. I'm not there yet. I got baptized young too. I did. And you guys were saying it was, you guys have been serving God since you were in your 20s and things like that. Well, I'm late in the process. I'm late in the process.
It's not about where you start, though. It's about where you end up.
Exactly. I'm late in the process. Let me tell you something. I can't tell you where I would be right now if I had not just laid it all, at his feet. I cannot tell you.
But
I literally hit the wall. I mean, I literally hit the wall. I was like a walking zombie, just surviving and not thriving, just surviving and not thriving, and not dealing with the healing, as Robert said, not actually dealing with the healing.
Right.
So when you hit that zombie, I want to say this, and I want to see what y'all think about it. But a lot of us are walking zombies because we are existing but not living.
Right.
And when I say just existing is we're just going through the motions, but we're not living because we can't really live. And just like you say, you're protective of your peace. You can't live in chaos. You can't function in chaos. That's why that Philippians 4:7 piece, that peace that surpasses all understanding, that's what you're talking about. You can't describe it. If I ask you, hey, so just tell me in word, man, I can't tell you. I just know you got to experience it. And that's what it's talking about. The reason why I brought about the zombie thing is so many of us, we're walking wounded on a lot of things because we are resisting the path to healing. And what I love about God is God was sitting there the whole time just waiting on you, like, boo, I'm just waiting on you to get to me.
Right. That's right.
I'm just right here. I'm waiting on you to get to me.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting on you.
A gentleman, perfect gentleman.
And you sitting there crying, you sitting there at night slobbing at the mouth, like foaming and falling on the floor. I'm so tired. I'm like, get to me.
But he's been there the whole time. All I had to do was just reach out, just call on him, and he's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
But what's so powerful about this is the fact that people are hearing the realities of the steps in that process.
Right.
Because so many times we talk end state, we so focused on end state, especially when we talk about with our faith, that we don't talk about the reality that exists within a start and a finish point.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's what I was talking about earlier today, because man, this thing is real and people are out there struggling. It's somebody listening to this right now, going through this, that's being encouraged that, hey, I ain't that crazy.
That's right.
That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you can't be healed, and you can't have peace.
Yes, and one thing about it, you don't have to be worthy. That's one thing about it. For a long time, I too struggle with that. God, you know, I'm so unworthy. Why would you even give me? Why would you even embrace me like this? Why would you even start over? Why would you give me a second chance at life? And because maybe I made a boo boo with the initial try. So you know, one thing about that, he's amazing in that way. So
He is, and
we
I'm
don't have
glad
to do anything to earn it. We don't have to do anything to earn it. Nothing we can do to lose it either.
You're absolutely right. And I would say, just touching on that, I mean, I literally was in that space where I was just fearful to even ask him, or I was fearful, and I felt like I wasn't worthy of his grace and his mercy,
Right.
and things of that nature because of the choices that I made.
Yes.
You know, how could I ask him, you know, for his favor when I've done this or done that? You know, as you say, I'm a child of God, and everything that he promised, I shall be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What's his is yours. Like you said, Robert, he's not going anywhere. He's just waiting on you to recognize you. You know, you're
Exactly.
And you know, this is I'm. You see, I got the big Kool-Aid smile because I love this. I love this conversation because it's so necessary. Because we all go through stuff, and the transparency with it. You know, listen, I don't have it all together. Like, we can put on this front, like everything is and clean.
Yeah.
Listen, when it's talking about healing, and because we all go through stuff, but just embracing that vulnerability. And this is what I like about what you said, both of you guys talk about, is when you get to that broken place where you can't go nowhere else and you are forced to embrace that vulnerability, what you realize is that's the place God has been waiting to take everything off you.
Yeah.
That you've been looking for him to take off you. He's just been waiting for you to get to that place.
Because do we really truly give it to him unless he's a gentleman. So there are certain things that, you know, we might pray about, you know, one minute, and, you know, the next minute, because this is flesh, you know, none of us have arrived. So, you know, it might be that, you know, it's something that is this difficult, but God will wait it out. And when he breaks you down, where it's just you and him, that is, you never want to go back to being without him. So I really understand, you know, what you say when you say just even that peace, and keeping your circle tight. When God breaks you down, you want to let go of that place, because that is that place of brokenness. Once you go through it one time, you can. There are several routes to get to a broken place, but I thank God that you know, I want to just be obedient to his path, because a lot of times I chose to follow my own.
Right. Exactly.
So I would tell you, a wounded heart will lead you to making some dumb decisions. Will lead you to making some decisions that you just look at yourself and like, what in the world was I thinking? And why I say that is because it's so important that we get to that place of brokenness so we can heal, because the enemy just, he thrives in that environment.
Oh, absolutely.
He thrives in that space. And I want people to understand about that's why it's so imperative that we get to that place. And broken is not, I don't want people, broken is a place of strength.
Yes.
Because that's why where you are weak, I am made strong. And what it basically is saying is that's where there's transferring of, I leave it at the altar, I place it at the altar. Guess what? This too heavy for me. Being in the Army, we do ruck marches, and you can have like uptime, sometimes 100 pounds on your back. And you walking and you walking and you walking, and it begins to wear on your shoulders, wear your body down. And it's like when we choose not to heal, we just walking with that weight on our back, or we complaining that our back hurt. And God just said, only thing you got to do is just leave it right here with me.
That's right.
But now, ain't nobody gonna take care of this like I'm gonna take care of it. And God be like, I created you.
Mm-hmm.
I have everything that you need to overcome that. Just give it to me.
Yeah.
I want to hit this comment with Tahisha. She's been commenting. She said, I'm choosing to face the hurt and uncomfortability. I want to wear my crown, but most importantly, I don't want to go through the same situation again. She's been commenting throughout, and I know y'all been seeing it, but you know, when you get to that place, and we're gonna transition to the other side to it, because I want to deal with while we were in it. We didn't realize the preparation that God was doing in us when we were in that place of brokenness.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that set the stage for what we are all doing right now. I couldn't talk about this if I didn't go through my pain. See, I couldn't talk about God being a healer and testifying that God being a healer if I ain't have to deal with that pain. And I'm talking about that pain where you so hurt, where you just want to scream, but it's like you got a knot right there and it ain't been coming out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about where you so hurt, where you crying and you just on the floor just sobbing, and your 4-year-old son come up and pat you on the back and hug you and say, Dad, it's gonna be all right. See, if I didn't go through those things or what I went through, I couldn't say that I know what it's like for God to be healer. If I didn't go through dealing with depression and being overwhelmed with anxiety and dealing with suicidal ideations, if I didn't go through those things and get to a place to where I was broken, listen, and I want to share, and I think this is going to be helpful to somebody. When I went through my thing with my divorce, and I was a single father nation, I came to Fort Gordon. I was in Augusta, 2007. Single dad. My son, Robert, had separation anxiety. I had just came back from a deployment. I didn't even recognize that I was dealing with PTSD from my deployment. So I come to a new town, become a single dad. I have no family here. My son has separation anxiety. So I literally was dropping my son off at daycare at 5 in the morning, going to work for PT at 5:30, would come back and sleep at my house until about 2 o'clock, because guess what? I couldn't function. I couldn't function. I was in a state of depression and didn't even know it. I was just trying to get up and do what I didn't want to let nobody know. I had to get up to work. I smiled, where I was tore up from the inside. I mean, tore up. And then the reason why I was asleep, so when I picked Robert up, so that I can pour and be there for him, because being a single dad, I was living in an apartment, and this thing broke my heart. It was a trash bin outside. I would say, hey, Robert, I'm going to the trash bin. Nation and Valencia, when I went to the trash bin to dump the trash, Robert would come to the edge to watch me because he was afraid that I was going to leave him based off the situation when I was deployed.
Right.
Well, you know what that did to me? On top of going through a divorce, on top of all this other stuff, I was in a bad place. And that's why from that bad place, I wrote countless songs. I've been able to minister and help people and talk to them and meet them at a place of empathy that I never had if I didn't go through what I went through.
Absolutely.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. This we went through what we went through, but I will tell you, that set you up. And Kurt Franklin said, your pain was your preparation for your destiny. And I know I've been going on for a while, but that is why you are empowered, both of you all empowered to do what you're doing right now and to be a blessing to people because of the grace of God to get you through that. Because he knew he's going to use you the way that he's using you all right now.
Absolutely. Amen.
Amen. To touch on what you said, you said was it your 4-year-old? You said 4-year-old, 5-year-old?
My 4-year-old.
Patting you on the shoulder, patting you on the head. Right. When I literally, when I say I hit the wall, I was like a walking zombie. I literally hit my wall in my living room, and I literally blacked out and fell on the floor. My baby was 2 years old at the time. And she was like, "You okay? You okay?" And so I knew at that point, you know, I got to do something different. I got a 2-year-old. I got to be strong. I got to take care of my 2-year-old daughter. And I had to go through this healing process. Mind you, I had a 2-year-old daughter. I had been divorced, got into another relationship, hadn't taken the time to heal from my marriage, jumped into another relationship, which of course it failed too. And now I'm also in a single mom situation. Now I went from married and now I'm a single mom. So now, you know, it's in two entirely different worlds. I'm trying to figure out how to function, trying to figure out my way.
Right.
The only way was to go to God.
Wow.
It was my only way.
Wow.
So it's just amazing that with you know, with the conversation that we're having tonight, you know, God positioned us, and God is the master strategist, and He knows exactly what, like, and you know what? This is what I love about God. Even in all of our situations, even though it may not have been all our fault, God still deals with us with what we brought to the table. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we can't heal until we deal with us. Like we can blame everything on everybody else.
Yep.
God be like, no, I know. I can remember the Holy Spirit speaking to me one time, was like, Robert, I'm not concerned about what somebody else do to you over what I'm concerned with what you do to other people.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. You're right.
But that broke my little heart, because look, I'm saved and I'm highly favored by God, and God gonna work it out. Touch my not my and do my prophet no harm. Now God was like, bro, I gotta deal with you.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with you. And I'm saying that's one of the most scariest things to do. And I thank God for never doing that. And I know, and this is what I like, and this is gonna make both y'all educators, it's gonna make y'all laugh. But there's no child left behind rule when it comes to God and you passing the test.
No child left behind. I'm so thankful for that, man.
And then speaking of, we say we're educators. Just think about it. We're broke. You know, for me, broken, hurt, and she's doing what she's dealing with, and you know, we're going to work each and every day. And for me, I'm wearing this mask each and every day for my kids, and you know, but you know, each and every day that mask is slowly slipping. And you know, falling off, peeling, getting raggedy, all of it. Yeah, just you know, and eventually, you know, they didn't see it initially, but eventually they did, you know. So I had to, like you said, go through the process and actually heal.
Right.
Because for me, it was more, you better than this. You better than this. This is not where you came from, you know. So, and like I said, with a lot of prayer, a lot of conversation, because honestly, I did not go to therapy, but I read a lot of books, watched videos, did a lot of, you know, going physical exercise, doing little things that was of interest to me, that would help build me up and help me become better, personal development stuff, to get me to the point where I am now. But I just want people to know, and that's why I'm trying to be. When I got on this show today, Robert, I was nervous. Okay, I was afraid of what was going to come out of my mouth, and I was honestly felt like I needed to be tamed with what I say. Tamed with what I say. Am I going to say too much? But whatever it is I say, I just hope that it helps somebody. But to know that, like I said, I've been married, divorced, single mom. You know, still trying to figure it out. I'm not perfect, but what I do know is that I do know that in order for me to function, I cannot function in chaos. That's something I do know. I do not function well in chaos. I do not function well in drama, because I was dysfunctionally functioning.
Wow.
And I never want to be in that place again, ever. I never want to be in that place again. And I want to make sure that my daughters see a positive example, a role model for them. So when they grow up and they get into relationships, and you know, and this, you know, become more self-aware before they get into relationships, know what they want, what they desire, and be strong women before, you know, going to that stage or moving to that phase in life.
Listen, so it's so powerful. And the thing that I like about it, all of this is, you know, and Iantha said in her comment, she said, vulnerability like this always help. She says she's so grateful you pushed through to share. And what I do like is your healing, part of your healing process is connected to you helping others heal. So
Right.
Nation, and I say that because I guarantee you, we have never talked about, I guarantee that will let you to write your book.
Do what? Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I just want to say something, Robert, to Valencia. Earlier, she mentioned, you know, whatever she said on the show, she would just hope that it helps somebody. Well, just in talking to you in the short period of time that we have, I can tell you that just your testimony itself has blessed me, you know, in other aspects of my life, not necessarily even the healing aspect, but just to see somebody on the other side of the screen that's doing their thing and looking like our daughters, it makes a huge difference. So your testimony, I'm glad that you obeyed God and decided to, you know, share that with the world, because it's a blessing.
Thank you.
You know, I thank God that we don't look like what we went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not gonna talk about that, Robert. Talk about self-care, man. It's gonna fall off. You sure will. You sure will.
Listen, I do think that you know, just overall when we dealing with the word healing and talking about understanding the steps in the process, like Naisha said earlier in the show, you know, the steps in the process is equitable throughout all physical, emotional, and spiritual. But what we can say that the connection through all of them is you have to be willing to put in the work.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
From a broken place.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of that stuff, you know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of folks ain't tired, man. They just irritated. But when you tired of being sick and tired, but you don't care how you look. Listen,
That's right.
You don't care how you look.
You need to get where you going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hair ain't right. I ain't got the right shoes on. Hey,
I need
you know
to
what?
just touch the hem of his garment.
And you know what though? And I'm glad you brought that up. And I do want to expound on that real quick, Nation. The story of the woman touching the hem of the garment of Jesus' garment. What people don't talk about was she had an issue of blood for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
When she exhausted all of her resources on her own.
Broken.
To a place of brokenness to where she said, I don't need to talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't need to see him. I don't need to have a conversation with him.
Who touched me?
I just need to fight through this crowd and touch the hem of the garment.
That's
and
right.
I think a lot of times when we talk about it, we just individually, I think that we paint the picture of like, oh, well, she just walked up to him and touched him.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it's almost like everybody trying to leave an NFL football game or NBA basketball game, and you trying to fight through that crowd.
Absolutely.
But if I could just, she fought through that crowd because she wasted a lot of her resources to an attempt to get the healing that only took the touch of her making the connection with God.
That's
now, I ain't trying to preach it, right? But I'm telling you what.
You're talking about what you know about.
I'm talking about what I know about, and I'm just
That's
so glad that we're able to, you know, to have that open discussion about that, because it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
That is why. That is why God has led me to do this show, because these type of subjects people don't talk about. You don't find a lot of this content out there. My mom said, fight through the Black Friday crowd after Thanksgiving. I don't even mess with that Black Friday crowd. I just wait to Cyber Monday or whatever. But I truly appreciate you guys coming on and you guys being willing to be transparent. So what I want to do tonight is I do want to give away a copy of Naisha's book. So, and Naisha, this is what I'm gonna do for the winner, for the person that win this the book tonight, and I'm gonna give the criteria. I want to get when I come to Augusta, I want to meet with you and get a autograph.
Autograph. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, so I can then mail it to the individual.
Okay.
But and Valencia, I want to thank you too. I will tell you that I couldn't tell that you were nervous because, girl, you did your thing. You did your thing. So I'm so glad, and I'm when you see me here smiling, when I came up with this and the idea for the topic, YouTube popped in my head, and I just sit here and smile and be like, okay, God, you dope. I'm glad that I did what you told me to do, and I'm glad that you have the people here so that we can have the conversation that we had, that I know for a fact that's helpful to people.
Absolutely. So,
what are some closing thoughts that you would say to somebody who is at a place of brokenness, or at a place of that they're wounded and they're trying to figure it out? To, you know what I'm saying, and they're at that place where you remember where you were and you wish you had somebody, you know, what would you say to yourself at that place of brokenness? Like Naisha, where you are, where God stripped you of everything, right, and you had to be dependent and go through, right, a process. Or Valencia, where you were, where you was just at your rock bottom. What would you say to somebody that's at that place right now?
Right. I would just say one of the things is, you know, being healed is free, but you know it's going to cost you something, and it's going to come from that broken place. You know, I think that the one thing that I wanted to hear was not something that came from a person. It was something that came from within, which is knowing that there is nothing that I can do or earn his grace and his love, and that I am worthy. So I would just say to anyone who's listening, you know, who is in that broken place, you have not lost your worth, but you have increased your value, because God is going to take you from where you are and build you now back to where he needs you to be. So it's possible, and you are worthy.
Wow. What about you, Valencia?
I would say self-awareness is super important, and for that healing process, getting to know who you are, discovering who you are as a person, man or woman. And for me, you know, I'm not trying to push anything off on anybody, but for me, definitely putting God first and knowing that you are a child of God, and that, as Naisha said, you are worthy and you are deserving of his love. And he will never leave you or forsake you, no matter where you are. And even if it's, like I said, whatever age you are, he's there for you. He'll always be there for you. You just need to just lean on him.
Yes, ma'am.
So I can remember.
Late. That's bottom line, Robert. It's never too late.
Never too late.
Never too late.
I like that.
That is powerful. I remember when I went through what I went through, and I'm, you know, God giving me the gift to be a songwriter, and I wrote a song called "He's a Keeper," and the words of that song simply says, "You don't know what I've been through, the tests and trials he brought me through. You couldn't see the hurt and the pain, and all the guilt and all the shame. I couldn't see my way. At times I wanted to stray, but now I know that you are the one who kept me."
Exactly.
Man, that's exactly right.
And I think that those words can be related to if you've been through some stuff. And I thank God for keeping me in spite of me, and I thank God for keeping me in his grace and his mercy. But I do want to say something, and I shared this with somebody, but I want to say this. I want to remind people this, and I want to speak these words of affirmation to you. Remind you that you are worthy. You are appreciated. You are loved. You are wanted. You are needed. You are smart. You are impactful. You are accepted. You are deserving. You are beautiful. And you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I wish you could see yourself the way that God and everyone else sees you.
Wow.
So I just wanted to end with that. But Nation, before we do it, let some people know where they can go get your book. Because I know you can go on Amazon and get it.
Yeah. Well, the name of my book is The Heart Feels First. It's sold on BarnesandNoble.com. You can pick them up at Amazon. My website is Tandem Light Press. So you can go there, or you can Cash App me at Naisha P, Naesha P, hashtag Naisha P on Cash App.
Okay. So now let's get into it. So here we go. I'm gonna do 2 books. I'm gonna sponsor 2 books, Nation. But
Okay.
This is how we're gonna do it.
Okay.
You are gonna pick a number in your head.
Okay.
All right. And I go first with Valencia. Pick a number in your head, and I want everybody to come on. For those that are in the comments, I want you to start. We're gonna start. It's 6:02 right now. 7:02 in East Coast. I'm in Central. When the clock hit 8:03, I want you all to post one number between 1 and 50. 1 and 50. One number between 1 and 50, and we're gonna go for a minute. And at the end of it, you can post 2 numbers. You can post 2 numbers, but at the end of it, whoever get the one that either the number or closest to it, they will win. They will be mailed the books. So I will purchase the book from Nation, have us personally autograph them, and I will mail you the book this week. So I'm just waiting on 7:03. We just hit 6:03. So go now. Time now. We got a minute. So go ahead and drop them in the comments. Let me see what we got popping up. See if we got anything popping up. Do we have anybody in the comments right now? Okay, all right. Oh, okay. We got some popping up. I know we got a little delay with the thing, but it's gonna come in. Okay. We got another minute. Go ahead. You can put 2 numbers. Oh, yeah, they coming in now. Aunt Julia, you already had a 7, so you got to change your 7. Somebody else already had a 7. We still within that minute. Still within that minute. And I think my mom picked the best number out there, 44. That's my old high school football number. So
I see that.
All right. So time's up. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go with you, Valencia. What number did you pick?
47.
47. 47. Right now, when I'm looking at the comments, I see the closest one to 47. We got, I'm looking. Okay. We got Janelle Reeser. Janelle Reeser. She's the closest one. So we'll give her a shout out. She had 45.
Okay. Congratulations.
So congratulations, Janelle. We got you. What I need you to do, please just inbox me your address, and I will make sure you get that book to you, signed book to you this week. All right, Nation, what number you had?
13.
13. Oh, we had Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna go back to it because we had a few 13s. Let me see who got first. Wow. So 13. Want to give a shout out to my old basketball coach, Coach Smith. He was the first one to pop up with 13. So, Coach,
congratulations.
Your address.
He's on here.
Text me your address. Well, text me your address or inbox me your address, and I'll make sure you get this book. Wow, I mean, it's amazing how God worked things out. I really have enjoyed this show. I do want to do a shameless plug. Next week, you want to tune in. I will continue on with the theme of highlighting Women and Women History Month and the excellence, the standard of excellence that women operate on. And I will be having some phenomenal leaders coming on, and I'm going to let you know who they are. I'll be posting the flyer shortly after this show. But I have three women who have achieved the highest rank you can achieve in the Army as enlisted personnel. Three of them that I personally know, that I've interacted with on a personal basis. And we will be talking about the challenges and triumphs women face in position of leadership. Now, and you see how I said that women face in position of leadership, not women in leadership position, because women are always in leadership positions. So, and I do want to highlight, so you guys want to tune in. I'm talking about some phenomenal people, and I want to thank you all. I truly appreciate you all coming on, Naisha and Valencia, for this show. Naisha, we got to get together. I got to cook for you while I'm in Augusta.
Absolutely.
So you can try these. Hey, the world famous culinary skills. I make sure that I can stop in the Atlanta area to drop you a plate off so you can take care of. So that's what
I see you cooking on Facebook.
I know. Can I put in my order?
Yeah. Hey, I take orders too, but I'm really about to cook tonight for my family. So I enjoy cooking. But besides that, I just want to thank you all so much for being a part of this conversation. Thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you share this. Make sure you send this to somebody. I pray and I know that God, this was a blessing to somebody tonight. So you guys, he said, I can't cook. Coach cracking up. I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. God bless.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.